Big, small. Big, small. Big, what the I was then supposed to say medium. Anyways, welcome to BeamNG 0.33. This has to be one of the most interesting updates we've gotten in a while, and today I'll show you why, from the big features all the way to the teeny tiny details. And make sure to watch until the end, because BeamNG's CEO has an exciting message for all of us. And so do the BeamNG lawyers, which are holding me at gunpoint to make sure I tell you that all footage is from a pre-release version and that things may be different when the update comes out. Now, let's talk about the big new thing which I'm currently driving. Or should I say, the medium new thing. This is the brand new Gavril MD series, a medium-duty truck which fills the gap between the light-duty D series and the heavy-duty T series. Literally, it's basically a D series body mounted on a short T series frame. It even has the same interior as a D series, though the gauges do look nicer. But despite being mostly made of D series and T series parts, it features something that no other vehicle has. The combination of a gearbox splitter and a transfer case range box, which, on top of looking extremely cool, also allows for stupidly low gearing. Like seriously, who needs this? Plus, there's 20 configurations to choose from, including early and late variants, and super cute specialized upfits. I mean, look at how short and stubby they look. I just wanna hug them. Anyways, 20 configs is a decent number. But just like the T-Series, more should be added in future updates. And talking about the T-Series, the updates continue. This time around, there's a new twin-steer cab-over setup, passive steering lift axle suspension, Tridem airbag rear suspension, and a powerful new turbo diesel V8 engine. And all of this means there's 11 noticeably updated configurations and 3 brand new ones. And yes, the Homelander truck can finally fly again. And that is all for the big features, which now brings us onto the slightly smaller but still noticeable improvements. But before that, we need to talk about the comments under my previous video, because the one time I forget to add a pinned comment, this crap becomes the most liked. So this time, I will make triple sure I add a pinned comment, and I swear, if it loses in likes to any other stupid one, I'll morph into a banana. Now, the medium-sized updates include new aftermarket parts and configurations for the Hirochi SBR and the first generation Ibishu Pessima. Not gonna lie, I kinda wanted to see a remaster or even a simple refresh for these cars, especially the SBR with its old textures, but I honestly can't complain, because this is sick. Then, we should also have noticeable improvements to force feedback. And I say should because I haven't tried it. So subscribe to my crappy channel if you don't want to miss it when I eventually do it next week. And that is it for the medium-sized updates. Yeah, I told you this was a weird release, especially since we now have a whole truckload of small improvements. Starting with the Vulkan renderer, which has finally reached beta and is now stable enough for it to be regularly used by the BeamNG dev team. If you have zero idea of why this is extremely exciting, let me quickly explain why you should be. Vulkan is a much newer graphics API compared to DirectX 11, which is what BeamNG uses currently, and it massively improves performance. Now everyone will have slightly different results depending on their hardware, but on my system, I got around 50% more frames in West Coast, with these graphics settings and traffic spawned in. And the performance difference got closer to 100% when I completely maxed out the graphics settings, as well as enabling the CK graphics mod with these options. I'll be honest, playing on West Coast with traffic in 4K and beyond ultra settings at 90 FPS feels incredibly weird. It's like my brain can't accept this is real after all these years of it being a literal slideshow. Now, another reason behind the improved performance is the further optimization of traffic, as well as the simplified versions of these vehicles, which resulted in a 10% gain using DirectX 11. Next up, we have some small changes here and there around the West Coast map, including an updated diner, dirt track, refinery area, and toll booths. Another map that got changed around slightly is Grid's More Pure, which now gets gizmo and ruler decals around the spawn point, as well as customizable styles. The The drag system has been completely reworked, and it now also works in free roam, without having to interact with anything. You just line up, wait for the green, and go. Another motorsport that has received some updates is drifting. There is no more countdown at the beginning of missions, and now the drift detection system is massively more accurate, especially at slow speeds. On the topic of missions, there are 7 new ones in this update, as well as general revisions to the rest, including updated player vehicles and media. Plus, all scenarios that weren't missions have now been converted to them, and can be accessed in free roam through map view and challenge markers. There have also been some UI improvements here and there, though unfortunately this doesn't really benefit casual players. That's because these improvements have been made to the development tools, such as the FPS metrics, the world editor, and the thumbnail generator. The try new UI button we got in the previous update is still here, but unfortunately there haven't been any changes to it. On the other hand, something that does actually benefit casual players are the updated graphics settings, which include better tooltips, though in my opinion adding colors would make them more readable, rebalanced presets, as well as a brand new one for the Steam Deck, and the addition of an ultra option for mesh quality, which controls the LOD. On top of that, we can now control the ambient occlusion quality between normal and high, just like in the CK graphics mod, though I assume there would be space for an ultra setting too, which could be what is currently being used in the garage. And this also goes for the new shadow resolution setting, which unlike the ambient occlusion, doesn't match the quality from the CK graphics mod. So devs, please give us an ultra setting. Next, there's numerous improvements to sound, including new GT3 transmission whine, water splashes, reverse beeps, sirens, horns, and even the piano. Oh, and the French race car also gets a brand new motorsport exhaust sound, which is très bon, mon dieu. There's also updates to the livery editor, with tweaks to the user interface, and the option of snapping around the vehicle's sides, though the roof one is kinda messed up. This is great, because previously there was no proper way to align the camera to the body panels, and so the decals you applied would be all warped. And finally, there's some updates to career mode. Now personally, I'm holding off from playing it until it's finished, but if you want to know what's changed, alongside all the other minuscule details and bug fixes I couldn't fit in this video, then you can do so in the patch notes, which are linked in the description, alongside my limited edition merch. Now, that is all for the update stuff, but there is still one thing we need to talk about. The message from BeamNG's CEO. This was posted on the BeamNG forums in late June, and mentioned stuff about the current state of development and 0.33's delay. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear creating the foundation for amazing features in the future, I honestly do not care about a free update, literally free, being delayed. Devs, I just want to say thank you for doing what you're doing, and to everybody else, thank you so much for watching. See you next week with a force feedback.